After taking up the challenge of becoming the student council president, the shy, timid Suoh is one step closer to solving the greatest mystery of her life, the disappearance of her long-lost love. With the help of her friends, Suoh faces the darkness residing in both the Angrecum Academy and her own heart. Was she able to overcome these trials to take back her love, or will tragedy await her in this cold, desolate winter season? Hi, my name is August, and let's take a look at the final installment of this intimate Yuri character drama series. Flowers Live Volume sur Hiver, The Book of Winter. Continuing from the previous installment, the story takes place after Suoh has accomplished her trial, becoming the student council president. With Yuzuriha Yashashiro's last parting words before her disappearance, Suoh has obtained the final clue to bring Mayuri back. And upon investigation, she arrives on the far outskirts of the school, next to a burned down chapel in the dead of winter, to a grave with the name Basquiat. This marks the beginning of the end of the grand mystery Flowers has crafted throughout the last 2 installments. One that holds a deeper attachment to Suoh and us, the readers. The 7 mysteries were only a preamble to get to the real truth of the Academy, but while the previous 7 mysteries were full of playful pranks and harmless misunderstandings, this final mystery is darker and ominous than any one before it, telling a woeful tale of regret and tragedy. The Flower series has always had a very artistic way with words. The poetic style, the literary allegories, and the creative descriptions are a reflection of the characters and the subtext. And in Suoh's perspective, our librarian book fairy, it becomes even more complex and abstract. As a result, the visual novel carries these characters' feelings with more dramatic delivery in their words and weighs more heavily in meaningfulness. With this final installment being as climactic as it is, concepts like lovers finally reuniting in the springtime when they first met becomes as sensationally romantic as it can get. The prose continues to be excellent as the prior volumes before it, even more so in this final installment. The problem is that it's too good. Ironically, because the prose is so descriptive and layered heavily with subtext, the visual novel gets dangerously close to becoming too ominous, instead of its gentle fairy tale-like nature. It's fantastic at giving the reader imaginative details in its romantic moments, but it's also very good at creating dreadful, haunting, and even malicious atmospheres in its darker moments too. Mayuri's disappearance is strange, but with how Flowers hypes up the mystery implies that there's an incredibly dark, immoral secret hiding away in the Academy. The reactions from certain characters are depicted as emotionless, heartless, and cruel, a drastic contrast from the overall tone. And Bad Ending 4 is leagues beyond any bad ending before it, being absurdly tragic. Remember, this is a lighthearted Yuri work about friendship and love as they talk about tea and books. The mystery aspect is great here in how it builds up suspense, and how the prose is phrased allows the readers to think of many different ideas to figure out the truth and derive deeper meanings. However, those thoughts could get wildly out of control, especially since a lot of the key details are implied. This becomes a problem because certain characters' motivations and their actions behind the scenes are never fully explained. 1 or 2 lines are dropped, but it still leaves the reader largely confused and wondering why. It ends up souring our perspective of certain characters after having greatly bonded with them. In retrospect, you and I can understand why they did what they did, but it certainly doesn't make me happy, because everyone's got a weakness somewhere. As Suoh gets closer and closer to finding out the disappearance of Mayuri Kosaka, the more she gets desperate. Her strong will and determination is admirable, especially for a girl like her. The problem is the worrying idea that she's becoming obsessive, to the point where the story starts inviting unreliable narration. Not only does Flowers use its prose to elevate the atmosphere of its scenes, but the presentation equally matches in its craftiness. The cold, desolate winter season setting and the winter uniforms being described as black morning gowns both set the stage for a rather melancholy tone. But I think Suoh imagining specters of her evil stepmother takes the cake in sinister vibes. Suoh may have grown from her previous self back in the Book of Spring, but she's still the same shy, timid girl with social anxiety. Her insecurities from back in spring returns with a vengeance. From the menacing whispers to the flashing visions to the cloudy thoughts, Suoh's doubts and suspicions attack her mentally. It's no wonder that the story infers the idea to doubt Suoh, for when it comes to Mayuri, her reality may be skewed, to where I myself was questioning whether she's seeing Mayuri as a figment of her imagination. It's a fantastic gradual breakdown of Suoh's desperation and deteriorating mental state, which also adds complexity to the mystery. But again, this is a lighthearted Yuri series where these girls dance musicals and make cute snow rabbits. Thankfully, Suoh's friends got her back. While the mystery and drama aspects are high points, the friendship and love shared between all of the girls is just as important and charming, and I sure do love it a lot. Suoh may love Mayuri, but she also thinks fondly of Rika. Rika knows that Suoh loves Mayuri, but she still loves her regardless. Erika has Chidori, and Chidori has Erika, but Erika and Suoh will always be best bookroom buddies. Everyone loves each other. Just some people love particular people a little bit more.
お前は笑っていた方がいい。リリカさん。そこまで。
There's lots of love to go around, and the moments when they're all having fun together is heartwarming. And when the going gets tough, Suoh's friends are there for her to open up to, even going as far as to fiercely defend her. A certain somebody might be in a wheelchair, but she sure goes the extra mile for Suoh in her fiery compassion, which is exactly why Erica is undoubtedly the best supporting character and my absolute favorite. I just wish there was more time to spend with the girls. Unfortunately, when the mystery is resolved once you read all of the endings, the visual novel only spends a little bit of time showing off the girls having fun together. Watching these girls change themselves and learn to love each other throughout these seasons has been a very rewarding experience, and Flowers the Volume sur Hiver is a fitting end to the series. The Book of Winter took a more serious approach to its mystery, and while I thought there were some controversial points in terms of its tone and certain characters, it still delivered a gripping and dramatic, wholesome story, all made more fantastic through Flowers' presentation and prose. And even then, the negative aspects of Hiver doesn't take away my final thoughts about the series as a whole. Flowers is still an excellent and tenderly crafted character drama, and my top recommendation for anyone looking for a Yuri visual novel to read. Flowers the Volume sur Hiver, or The Book of Winter, gets a 5 out of 5, while the entire series of Flowers gets a 5 out of 5 with a seal of recommendation from me. If you like this, feel free to click on the following videos for more Yuri visual novels. And with that said, I'll see you later next time.